Hey guys, Editor Donald here. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a warning during this episode. During it, we mentioned that both Parts 1 and Part 2 of Hannah's playthrough of Persona 5 for Inepticon would be linked in the description of this episode. Unfortunately, by the time we got done with the recording, I discovered that Part 2 of Inepticon Persona 5 has been deleted and is now missing. I don't know how, but unfortunately it has been lost. So only Part 1 is available. I apologize to you guys for this, as well as Hannah, who had a lot of fun during it, and I hope she really does not hit me in the head with a giant bat. Not like she would. Anyway, enjoy the episode! Please don't hurt me.
Let's do it.
Alright. Audio level's looking good.
Good.
First, Coffee Ninja sips. You think Coffee Ninja would be a good Phantom Thief name?
Yeah, I think so.
Either that or just coffee.
Yeah. What would mine be? I mean, in the Inepticon playthrough, it's Wacky Tobacco, but I think...
Well, I mean, your name was Wacky Tobacco, but...
but the Phantom Thief name is different.
Yeah, the code name.
I don't know. I don't know what mine would be. We've been trying to decide for a while.
Very hard to... I immediately want to go to Petra just because, like, that's your D&D name, but...
Yeah.
That's too easy.
You call me... I mean... I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Maybe an artistic kind of name.
Oh, yeah. Like... the painter or something. I don't know.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci? Actually, yeah, that's a good one.
We're going to call Hannah Da Vinci from now on for Inepticon.
That's mine. Awesome.
Let's do it. Anyway, for those that have not seen Inepticon, go watch Hannah's Inepticon playthroughs before we get started on this. For those that have seen it, let's get started. Donald in the future, play the intro theme.
I hope he does it this time.
Way to go, Donald. You played the intro theme.
Good job. You had one job, and you did it splendidly.
Bless be to future Donald.
Yes. At least I assume so. I don't actually know if he's going to do it, but...
He better. I got my eye on you.
This has gotten extremely meta. Let's move on.
Anyway, what's going on, guys? All you wonderful geeks out there listening, welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast. This is the podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regrets.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
As always, we are your lovely hosts for this podcast. I am Donald Kaczynski, your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night. Joining me as always, she is our resident artiste extraordinaire and dice slinger magnificent, and the purveyor of all things dystopia related, Hannah Kubiak.
Also known as Da Vinci.
Also known as Da Vinci, that is true.
Apparently.
Our resident Da Vinci.
Yes.
Let's call it that.
Awesome.
And,
Oh, hello. I got all confused because I don't usually say anything when you're introducing me.
No, you're fine. You're magnificent.
Oh shucks.
You're magnificent, Da Vinci.
Thank you.
So, we got a fun little topic related to today, and it relates to some stuff that we've been doing over on my Twitch streams. Go check out twitch.tv/RyuzakiMK7. We have mentioned on the podcast before that myself and Hannah, for the podcast, we started a little series called Inepticon, where we have Hannah play through a bunch of different games that she's not a video game player generally.
No, generally not.
And this was actually your brainchild.
Yes, yeah. I think I thought of this before we even decided to do a podcast, honestly.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It was in my brain. I was like, I have a great name for a show that could be streamed. So now, in order to be able to use that name, I have to do a show somehow.
Indeed. And now, Editor Donald, you need to get to work on the YouTube format of it.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. I was going to say we should put it on the, as a Patreon extra, but no. We should have more content that... If it's a Patreon extra, not everyone can see it. I find that's... I'm not very good at this Patreon stuff, because I want everyone to see everything.
Indeed, we will figure it out. But during the course of Inepticon, we played a bunch of different games. We started off with having Hannah play one of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario 64. We had her play Spider-Man for PlayStation 4, and we're going to talk about one of the most recent games that we're going to talk about today. The critically acclaimed RPG that was released this past decade, Persona 5.
Yeah.
Get out there! Sorry, the music is stuck in my head at all times.
Are you okay?
I can't help it. This is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time.
I'm not familiar enough with the music or anything, so I'm a shapeshifter.
That is one of my favorites.
I like it too.
I love Beneath the Mask so much.
Right. So I have nothing to contribute to this discussion really, except what I learned from my two playthroughs of stuff.
Okay.
So
I'll go into the history of the Persona franchise in general.
Yes, tell me about it.
So, the Persona series is actually a sub-series of a different series of games. It originally produced by Atlus, which is a group under Sega. For those that don't know, Sega is responsible for Sonic the Hedgehog, Bayonetta, and a bunch of other wonderful things. Atlus, who was the developer for the Persona series, originally produced the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Okay.
And Shin Megami Tensei is a very popular series in Japan. It has a small following in the West as well, where we are. But it hasn't really exploded as much until very recently. Like, I'd say within like the past 15 years.
Okay. Is this a show or is it another game?
This is a game.
Oh, okay.
These are completely different game series.
All right.
And the Shin Megami Tensei franchise has a lot of different things that are very equal to Persona in terms of like same stylizing of monsters, creatures, things of that nature.
All right. So kind of there's some similarities there.
There are some similarities, and there are also some very distinct differences. It's honestly like a giant heated debate like between gamers of like both series whether or not Persona and Shin Megami Tensei should be technically linked together. Although they are.
Okay, so are they linked together just sort of by the style, or is there kind of a story that is
more like style in universe stuff? Like, honestly, it's more along the lines of like different like character models and things. Like the shadows that you were fighting, some of the shadows you were fighting in Persona 5, actually make appearances through Shin Megami Tensei as well.
Okay.
Like the Jack-o'-lantern one is one of them. And another one that you meet later on called Jack Frost.
Jack Frost?
Hell
yeah.
He's an adorable little white snowman with blue headwear.
Wait a minute, I feel like I've seen him somewhere.
I'll show you Jack Frost.
Okay.
So, SMT Jack Frost. Y'all can search this up on Google as well.
Yep.
That is Jack Frost.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of something else.
Look at that adorable little stinker.
Yeah, and you're supposed to fight him?
He's like a recurring enemy type / summon or
okay, got it.
Whichever the series portrays.
Got it.
Now, I'm not as familiar with Shin Megami Tensei, so I can't really go into much detail because Persona was the series that I was introduced to and was familiar with.
Yeah. The
first game in the series was released in the 90s.
Okay.
And it basically borrowed like a lot from originally Shin Megami Tensei. It wasn't until Persona 3 released in like the mid 2000s where Persona started to find, like, its own identity.
Mm-hmm.
So, what makes Persona very interesting in terms of JRPGs, or Japanese role-playing games, is that it combines both, like, RPG elements of, like, going into a dungeon, grinding, but also mixes in real-world, like a life simulator.
Okay, so yeah, there's sort of like a Sims vibe a little bit.
Kind of. Like,
which I kind of get when I'm, like, when you're walking around, you're, like, in the school and all that.
Yeah, you have to find ways to, like, spend your time, make bonds and, like, increase your friendship with people in order to become stronger for when you go into dungeons and things like that.
Was it you have made a new vow?
Uh-huh. The social links or confidants, or depending on which game you're playing. And, most importantly, with Persona 3, introduced something interesting to the Persona games, and that is a time period.
Okay.
As the story progresses naturally.
Yeah.
So usually the entirety of a Persona game takes place within a single calendar year.
Oh, okay.
So you're going through each of the days, like day by day. Sometimes you're free to do whatever you want. Sometimes it's like story scripted.
Yeah.
But sometimes there are locks within the game that if you don't do a certain task or complete a certain dungeon by a certain timeline, then it's game over.
Right, yeah.
And not only is it game over, but when something is said that something bad will happen, the situation plays out entirely as it happens. And it's like, you know, in Persona 5 right now, where basically it's like you will be expelled if you don't change the guy's heart.
Yeah. That happens.
Honestly, more than that. Like, it goes into very, very bad territory. Like, one such phenomenon is like somebody. Eventually, somebody is basically coerced into implicitly doing sexual work unless you do something about it, and then it's implied. It's never shown, but the implications are there, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I thought that this arc was icky before, but...
Oh no, this is something in the future for Persona 5.
Right, yeah.
This current arc that you're on right now in Persona 5 is... We love this arc because it's a great introduction. Mm-hmm. But, ooh, we hate the villain. We hate him. Like, genuinely.
Yep. Grr. What a sad, strange little man.
Indeed.
Anyway.
So Persona 3 was the title in the series that kind of started the how the Persona series would progress. That game was released in 2005, 2006, I want to say.
All right.
For PlayStation 2. About 2 years afterwards, Persona 4 was released. And I'm going by American release date. I'm going by American release date. And Persona.
That's where we are.
And Persona 4 was released also for PlayStation 2, and that one was at the time considered to be the most popular entry in the Persona franchise, and had at one point been lauded as one of the greatest role-playing games of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. And Persona 5 was slated to be released for the PlayStation 3 system. Mm-hmm. But it continually got delayed. Right. And it kept getting delayed.
Yeah.
And rumors and a bunch of different...
Like the last Patrick Rothfuss book.
I guess?
Oh, yes. The third book in the, what's it called?
Actually, better question. It's like we're trying to get, like, the sixth, Game of Thrones book. We're waiting for,
right.
George R.R. Martin to release it. He still hasn't released it.
Yeah.
And instead, he decides to do Mad Lad things, like, write the entire script and story for a video game getting released in January, which I'm excited for that.
That is epic procrastination right there.
It's basically a George R.R. Martin Dark Souls game.
Dude.
And I'm honestly excited. I'm not even a big fan of Dark Souls. I don't play it as much, but you know what? I might just do it for that. So, yeah, I'm bringing up the, here it is, the development of Persona 5. Development began in 2008 for Persona 5 following the release of Persona 4, with full development beginning following the release of Catherine in 2011. For those of you not aware, Catherine was another Atlas title, which is kind of like a puzzle game.
Okay.
And the art style is very similar to the art style that they would use for Persona 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, for those not aware, the art style and presentation of between Persona 5 and Persona 4, it is vastly different. It's very, very different. I actually have Persona 4. I actually have Persona 4 on my computer that last year it was released on Steam. It was the first time that ever a Persona game was released on computer. I'm like, give me.
I just might get that, honestly.
I
Every time I turn on my computer, Steam reminds me that it's there. So, you know,
it's pretty good.
I do not know how to set it so that Steam doesn't automatically turn on when I turn on my computer. That's just the.
We'll figure it out.
I have no idea why it does that. Yeah.
So, yep, I'm trying to figure it all out. It was originally slated to possibly be released for the system, for PlayStation 3 system, but it kept getting delayed. It eventually ended up getting released in 2016 in Japan, I want to say. Yep, original release date in Japan, September 15, 2016, coinciding with the Persona series' 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So...
Well planned, well planned.
And all of us in the West, worldwide, didn't get it until April of the next year. I didn't get to play the game until 2019, when I originally started streaming the game.
Right, okay.
Like the original vanilla version.
Okay.
And,
vanilla.
Well, basically, I'll explain.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
I don't think you understand how much I don't know.
No, it's perfectly okay. I keep forgetting I have to change my terminology. So that's me running on autopilot. I apologize, Hannah.
Well, you can use the terminology as long as you explain it, man.
I will. So basically, the vanilla version is just like the base game without like anything else added, like extra story or anything like that.
Okay.
And so the game was released in 2016 and then 2017, and Persona 5 is a monster of a game. Like, with the story, you're going to spend over 100 hours just getting through the story. And that's not including all of the amounts of, like, side content that they have crammed in with, like, different mini-games and stuff. Like, you could do, like, side activities in, like, Persona games in order to increase, like, your stats of, your social stats and, like, the bond between you and other people. The minigame, they created so many minigames for this. You can go fishing. You can play baseball. You can... And they have separate mechanics for, like, each of these different things.
Okay.
Which is a heck of a lot of fun. And I remember just playing through this, because this was my first time ever playing a Persona game since, like, mid-2000s. I hadn't played through a full Persona game, like, at all, so I was very excited to play through 5. And I had a lot of fun with the game.
Yep, I've popped into your streams sometimes.
Yeah. And so, the game got so much popularity on it. Like, everybody was raving about Persona 5 being so incredibly mind-blowing and a game-changer for RPGs, whether how you feel about that. And the characters became so popular. So much so that the main character of the game, Joker, was the first DLC fighter announcement for Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wow.
Surprising everyone. And then...
Wait, what does that mean?
So basically, the Persona series has never had one of their main games on a Nintendo console. The Persona games have mainly been like a PlayStation thing.
Right, okay.
And to go into context with, like, different contract negotiations between different, like, game developers it would take a month, it would take, like, a month and a half for me to even structure a full opinion and even create, like, a 30-minute video about that. Mm-hmm. Because I would need to do my respective research. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. And a lot goes into getting those third-party characters into a game like Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. And there's so many of them. That's
cool. I enjoy Smash Brothers. You just run around and try and kick each other off of cliffs. It's very simple. It appeals to me.
Oh man, you're gonna have a lot of. I own every Smash Brothers game.
Oh really?
Yes. I literally just dug up my Nintendo 64 copy the other day, and I'm like, I should have Hannah try this. I think she would get a kick out of all this.
Oh man, yeah, definitely.
And then, Persona 5 basically followed the Persona 4 route of getting a lot of different spin-off games for other different systems. It got a rhythm dancing game. It got like a little cartoon-like RPG for like handheld systems, Persona Q.
Wow. Okay.
And then eventually in 2020, literally at the start of COVID shutting the world down, for those of us in America, the worldwide release of Persona 5 Royal, which was basically like an updated version of the game with more content, more story, which I'm currently playing through right now on my stream.
Oh. Is that the one that
That's the version I've had you playing.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, now, and that brings us to here today. So, we've had Hannah do 2 streams of Inepticon so far, playing through the first opening of Persona 5.
Yeah.
So, just like all of the other Persona games, you have to name yourself. You have to name your character as the protagonist. And Hannah, I'll let you explain what you called the character.
I don't remember why I did it.
I think I cracked a joke.
You cracked a joke about something at some point, and so it was on my brain. So I named my character Wacky Tobacco.
Which I do say on stream at times.
In all caps, Wacky Tobacco.
And
we'll have to go back because it's on the recording what led to it, but I don't remember.
I am gonna enjoy going back and just like highlighting everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am already like thinking about how to do it in the editing process.
It was a trip. If you give me an entire bag of caramel M&Ms and set me loose playing a video game, you'll definitely get some.
That's usually
some shenanigans.
That's usually what happens whenever we do an Inepticon.
That's usually my snack of choice.
And honestly, it's a very good choice. Cheers to you on that.
Thank you.
Early clink clink. But
people immediately turn off the podcast because
don't turn us off. We're not done yet, guys. We're not done yet. But
it's like Pavlov's dogs. I heard a clink. Episode's over.
Nutty, click, click. Okay, episode over. Wait, there's still 20 episodes going. There's still 20 minutes going. What the heck?
What?
What?
Yes.
But
your programming is complete.
Yes. So our main character, who Hannah has named Wacky Tobacco. We're gonna call him just like everyone else in universe calls him, Tobacco-kun.
Yep, Tobacco-kun.
That or Wacky-san. It's honestly a toss-up at this point. But so
I like Wacky-san.
Wacky-san. So this character is coming to Tokyo because he was charged with an assault case, and he is currently on probation, and he's being taken in by a man named Sojiro Sakura, who is a owner of a coffee shop in a small little district area of Tokyo. I have affectionately named him Daddy Sojiro. He is my coffee daddy. And yes, I am not afraid to say that. I am not afraid to say that, listeners. Coffee daddy Sojiro. Fill up my cup of coffee, Bean Daddy.
Bean Daddy.
I have mentioned that before.
Oh my goodness.
So And yeah, we get put into like another school. It's like a second chance. We already have a bad rep on us. Eventually,
it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone at the school have anything else to talk about besides how Wacky-san carries a knife?
It's high school gossip. It always happens.
Oh, it's the worst. High school is the worst.
Looking at you, high school students.
Yep.
Be better.
Looking at you, high school students, it'll be okay. You'll get through it.
Looking at you, high school outcasts. It'll be okay. We give you head pats.
Yes.
But, so it introduces us to the first arc of the game. Because,
the volleyball coach from hell.
Suguru Kamoshida.
That's his name.
Yeah. Literally on our first day of school, like, our main character, Wacky-san, gets, he's had this, like, weird app on his phone, like, ever since he first arrived. Doesn't know how it got there, but it's something supernatural and
so
weird.
Creepy. It's like something out of Black Mirror. You delete it and it's back the next day.
You know, it kind of is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And somehow the app activates, and we're taken to this different reality where the school has been transformed into a castle where the volleyball coach, Kamoshida, has become king.
It is so disturbing.
He is, and it's basically like all of his inner desires basically burst forth. He is a misogynistic womanizer. He is like full of ego, and basically rules everything with an iron fist, and what he says is law, which is basically kind of how it is in reality.
Yeah. He rules the school with an iron fist and a pink Speedo.
And a cannon shooting volleyballs right at your dick.
Yep.
I will never get over that clip.
It's a fate no one will choose.
Fate worse than
clip?
death.
There's a clip?
When I first played through Persona 5, when you're doing an investigation of the castle, and
I remember that investigation.
Yep, and we find the keep. When I originally played through it, there was a scene of one of the people being hung upside down, and he was getting shot at with a cannon of volleyballs.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yes.
And I keep reacting, and I kept in character as him, just like, he keeps shooting volleyballs at me in the dick. I've done and counting.
And some brilliant person clipped that. Wonderful.
Counting the time that I said that on stream with you, I've done that 3 times now. and somehow, it still is funny. Mm-hmm. Use it sparingly.
Yes.
It's very good.
Use it sparingly.
But
like cinnamon.
Yes. But yeah, over the course of this, we are met with companions of ours. Mm-hmm. One, Ryuji Sakamoto. Mm-hmm. He's kind of he's a delinquent, but he was formerly a runner on the track team that Kamoshida got disbanded because he basically bullied Ryuji to the point that Ryuji retaliated.
Yeah.
And
he's a hothead, that Ryuji.
Oh yeah. He's a hothead, but damn it, I love that him. I love that idiot.
Like a Rottweiler. Just won't let it go, and that's an awesome thing.
Yes. And also, you've been sending him so many dank memes.
Yep, that's true.
That's very true.
So many dank memes.
Second, we have a little bit of an oddball, a little cat creature, but don't call him a cat, named Morgana. We don't know what he is, but he is basically our advisor on this world that we know nothing of.
Yep.
I mean, I basically know everything about it, but I'm keeping spoiler-free as much as I can for Hannah, who has not seen all of it yet. I'm trying to be as best as I can.
Yeah, I am quite curious about who Morgana is.
And over the course of it, we are awakened to this power known as Persona, where basically when a person accepts like the ugliest aspects of themselves, and each Persona game does it differently. In past ones, there have been different ways of activating a persona. One shooting a noise device at your head in the symbol of a gun in order to summon it.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding on that. Another one, you basically had to confront like the worst fears and prejudice about yourself, and accept you for what you really are
Yeah.
in order to be able to harness the power. That's Persona 4. And in this one, you basically let down all of your walls and like everything you do to protect yourself. It basically forms a mask on your face, which you rip off, causing you to bleed everywhere and summon your persona in blue fire.
Yep.
Your reaction to that was still priceless.
I don't remember. I have no memory of this place.
And basically, a persona is basically like an inner manifestation of one's soul that they can harness in combat.
Yep.
And all of the different main character personas in each game are modeled after different themes.
Yeah.
In Persona 3, the personas were modeled and named after Grecian gods.
Oh, that's cool.
Or Grecian heroes, something along those lines. Because
Okay. Like Perseus?
Perseus, Orpheus.
Orpheus, okay.
There's so many that I'm actually trying to remember that I can't remember off the top of my head. Hermes,
Ares?
I believe there's an Ares one. I need to remember. Thanatos is one that you meet later.
Mm-hmm.
And then the style of Persona 4 is after Japanese like folklore, so different Japanese gods. So
what? Oh my gosh.
you're like
That sounds awesome.
yeah, you have stuff like Konohana Sakuya, Kintoki Doji, Izanagi, and then they ascend into like almost Japanese gods
Okay.
territory. So, and then all the personas in this one are modeled after historical or fictional phantom thieves. So the main character's persona, Arsene, is named after the phantom thief of literature, Arsène Lupin.
Mm-hmm.
Morgana's is named after Zorro.
Yep.
Ryuji's is named after a pirate that was Captain Kidd.
Captain Kidd, okay. I was gonna say Bluebeard, and then I was like, no, that's from
No,
Fate.
that's Gilles de Rais.
That's Gilles de Rais.
Gilles
Okay, yeah.
Gilles de Rais is not a pirate. He is a different despicable human that we... Oh boy. And then you get different personas later on that are named after
Carmen.
Carmen.
Ha 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 ha.
I know.
I liked that one. That one was fun.
I bet. And all of them are different thieves in their own right. Carmen, it was like the femme fatale kind of one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get different ones later on, like Goemon is one of them. It was Japanese phantom thief. Robin Hood is another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bunch of different various different personas of phantom thief lore, as
Right.
they say.
And it's so Wacky-san his like it's the phantom thief name that they have, which is like the Joker.
Yes. So basically,
And then the persona is the like historical fictional figure.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of his again?
Of his persona?
Yeah,
Arsène.
Arsène. Oh, okay.
Yes. Arsène Lupin,
Okay. Cool.
the gentleman thief.
Cool.
And so now, currently in this first arc, we now have to. We basically found Wacky-san and friends have found themselves in a situation where, basically, they have accused Kamoshida of something bad, and because they have no dirt in him, and Kamoshida can basically do whatever he wants, he's been planning in the staff members' minds to expel them at the next board meeting. Mm-hmm. So we need to change his heart in order to be able to stop him.
It's kind of like Inception. You
Kind of.
dive into their inner world and like plant stuff there or destroy stuff in there.
Persona 5!
Yeah.
Inception the video game!
Inception the video game.
So, with all this said, I hope I'm explaining it well for you listeners out there that have not played the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. Hannah, from what you have
Yes.
played so far, what can you tell us about your thoughts and opinions on everything progressing so far?
Well, it's tons of fun, obviously, or I wouldn't have decided to play it twice.
Yeah, the fact that you said, I want to play it again.
Yeah.
I was like, yes,
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. So, I really enjoyed it. I like the story element. I enjoy I don't know. I love the whole secret identity thing and finding. I love a good dungeon crawl, honestly. And I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. Just like
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy like the real world and fantasy world sort of parallel,
Yeah.
where it's like a physical manifestation of what goes on in somebody's mind and being able to actually see it and change it in theory. I do have a question. I do not understand the purpose of it's pronounced Igor.
Oh,
Igor. I do not understand the purpose of Igor. And
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
and his two little creepy girls
Okay, so
who tell you to get lost,
Yep.
prisoner, but you're in a box and you can't go anywhere.
it's okay. So, it's actually a common thing that's actually present throughout the Persona games. The existence of a realm known as the Velvet Room.
Okay.
To borrow from...
That sounds like some sort of like adult club.
Good question. That's a very good observation.
An astute observation.
Astute.
Continue.
To borrow from the master of the Velvet Room, Igor, this place exists between dreams and reality, mind and matter. It is a place that only those with a contract can come to. So, the Velvet Room has been a thing in basically every main Persona game. It is a place that the main character is able to enter and leave as they please. And the Velvet Room takes on a different appearance in every single game. In Persona 3, the Velvet Rooms appears as a never-ending ascending elevator.
Ah, okay.
In Persona...
Does it have to do with the like the mental state of the protagonist? Because I know that like
Part of it is that as well, but also it relates to the main theme of like the game in different ways. Because in Persona 3 there is basically Persona 3 it's not like it's very different. So basically there is a separate time of day that after midnight there is a different hour known as the midnight hour. Apologies, editor's note. It was actually the dark hour, not the midnight hour. Well done, Donald, who recorded this episode of the podcast. You played yourself. Where everyone who is not aware of it are just teleported into coffins.
what? Okay.
Anyone who is not aware of it are in coffins. It is basically a magical hour where only shadows, which are the main enemies of the Persona universe, and Persona users are able to be aware of it and interact in it. During this hour, all forms of technology don't work. There is... Basically, anyone, like I said, who's not aware of it, basically are replaced by coffins, and they sleep in them.
Okay.
Quote, unquote. And, in the place where you are, the school basically ascends to the heavens in the form is a tower known as Tartarus.
Cool.
That it's basically a giant dungeon you must explore.
Uh-huh.
So,
you only have that midnight hour to do it?
Yes.
Alright.
Basically, if you are... And there is actually a point in the game where it's like, if you are inside of Tartarus when the midnight hour is done...
Yeah.
You don't feel time pass, but you basically skip forward to the next midnight hour.
Okay.
So an entire day passes you by.
Yeah.
Sense of time is weird.
Okay. Okay, so when you're in the tower, only that 1 hour exists every day, and it just, like, keeps...
Yeah.
Cool.
But if you're outside it when the midnight hour ends, everything just goes back to normal.
Oh my gosh.
In Persona 4...
It's like a pocket dimension in time.
Kind of, yeah. In Persona 4, the Velvet Room is represented by a luxury limousine riding in a never-ending fog.
Spooky.
And the fog is coming from this other world that exists beyond the televisions in this small town in Japan known as Inaba.
Beyond the television?
It is literally a TV.
That's more Black Mirror shit, right?
Yeah, it's basically a television world.
Okay.
It's basically a television world where you find out the meaning behind it, but there was a rumor going around in the town that you inhabit in Persona 4 at the time, known as the Midnight Channel.
Okay.
Where whoever appears on the Midnight Channel is soon slated to die. And Persona 4 is basically a murder mystery.
Oh wow. Okay. So the midnight hour, the Midnight Channel.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah.
And then Persona 5, the Velvet Room is representative as a prison. More like
My body is a cage.
Where the user is trapped in a prison.
Okay.
Cell.
With this creepy, hunched-over, pop-eyed man goggling at you.
Igor is always present in all of them. He is the master of the Velvet Room, and and a different attendant joins him in every single game.
Okay.
He was in every single game. In Persona 3, it was Elizabeth, who was basically who's dressed as an elevator attendant.
Okay.
In Persona 4, it was Margaret, who was a very well-to-do, educated young woman who basically was very astute.
Okay.
I love Margaret.
Just a smarty.
Yeah. In Persona 5, we are joined by two different attendants.
Yep.
Which normally does not happen. Caroline and Justine, two twins who are basically the wardens, the jailers of your cell.
Yeah, they're like mirror images of each other, aren't they? Each missing one eye.
Yeah, they're missing eyes on each of their respective sides. And they're both voiced by the same voice actress, which is dang.
Yeah.
The differences in their voice, like damn, good job, good job.
I did not.
Phone.
Oh, it's my good friend Scam Likely. Goodbye.
Hannah's phone was ringing. She got the app. She got the Metaverse app. She's a Persona user.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah, can confirm.
So you find out more about the existence of the Velvet Room as you go through the game. And the Velvet Room actually plays a very important role in 5 in particular.
Oh, okay.
So,
I look forward to seeing where that seemingly random thing comes into play.
Yeah, but the Velvet Room has basically been like a mainstay in like all of the different Persona games. It's basically like a manifestation of the world helping prevent a calamity that can happen.
Okay. So it's kind of like they can sort of see what's going to happen in the future, and they're they're sort of I guess tutoring you or guiding you, kind of.
Guiding you, helping, offering assistance. They are able to help strengthen your heart by being able to summon more personas. By the way, I actually forgot to mention this. Every single main character in Persona holds a trait known as they're basically the Fool. They are basically the wild card.
Okay.
Meaning they hold the ability to wield multiple personas instead of tethered to only one.
Yeah. That's awesome. I enjoyed when that was
shown to you in that?
When that was shown in how it's...
Funny thing is, the negotiation tactic that you use was actually not present in Persona 3 or Persona 4.
Huh. Okay.
It was in the first two Personas, but they didn't add that back in 3 or 4. They put that back in for... They took out a lot of old aspects from 3 and 4 that they reintroduced in 5.
Huh. Yeah.
That it was really a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, you are in the very early stages of
the game.
You
said it's hundreds of hours. I've only played 6.
There's 7 or 8 different arcs.
Dude, okay.
And basically, the Persona series basically feels like you're playing an anime in real life.
Yeah, actually.
Like you're playing out an anime series.
That's a good way of putting it.
Best way I can describe it. And over the course of the game, you meet different people that you are able to either recruit into your party, or they basically become a social aspect that you can bond with in order to strengthen your abilities either outside of the game or outside of the palaces, which are the dungeons, or in the dungeons themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So Hannah is at a point right now where she has to change Kamoshida's heart in order to prevent the expulsion of Wacky-san and our best boy Ryuji.
Yep. The only blonde person at the school, apparently.
Because he refuses to dye his hair.
Yeah.
It's a thing in Japan that I don't know. Japan has a weird stigma about not dyeing your hair black or things like that. Yep. I don't know how Japan works, so I don't wish to judge.
Interesting.
So there is that. Any other thoughts about the game so far for you from what you have played?
So far, no. It's a lot darker than I expected, but besides that, no, I'm just looking forward to seeing how it progresses as we continue in Inepticon.
As someone who plays RPGs, as someone who plays D&D, how does it feel moving from Dungeons and Dragons into an RPG like this?
Well, I would say that in a video game RPG, you have fewer options. They'll ask you you have to respond in certain ways or whatever, and pick one of the 3 options of something to say or something like that. I would say that I miss interacting with other people who are also doing RPG.
Right.
Or RP, I should say. Yeah, I miss the community aspect of playing it as a video game.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't really expect it to be something that it isn't. So,
Do you prefer having the turn by turn approach that this game presented? When we originally tried doing a test run of Inepticon back before lockdown happened, we tried having you play Kingdom Hearts.
That's right.
And that's more of an action RPG where you're constantly in motion the full time.
I think turn by turn was fine. That actually, it was a little bit more organized, where it's you have your turn, kind of like in D&D when you go. I played Baldur's Gate a while back with my sister, and it had kind of a similar format, I suppose.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and I think Yeah, I think it gives you a little bit more ability to be thoughtful about what you're doing. It keeps you from button mashing. 'Cause that's what I do a lot of the time. Is I'm just sort of running around like, like it's chaos, Whereas in Persona, it'll go, okay, now it's this person's turn. Choose one of their things that they do, and you choose it. And
Persona 5 is very beginner friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just starting to play like JRPGs, Persona 5 is a good one to start with.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely found that.
Yeah, it's a very user-friendly one.
Mm.
So, any expectations on where the narrative is going to go forward?
No, not really. I just, I'm just curious to see where we go from here.
All right, but I think the most important thing is, are you having fun with it?
Oh, hell yeah!
And in the end, that's really all that matters. If you're not having fun with it, then I haven't done my job right in choosing a good game for you.
Uh-huh.
And I would have to go back to the drawing board and just hang my head in sadness in the corner.
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, it's been good. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
And if you guys want to see Hannah go through the rest of Persona 5, let us know. And make sure to stay tuned on all of our social media for when we go live with Inepticon next time we do it. And see how far she goes and what she thinks of it.
Yeah, see what happens before I make an irreparable mistake.
I think we can wrap it up at that.
I think we can wrap it up with that.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of General Geekery, talking all about the, basically this is kind of like an Inepticon wrap-up? No, not wrap-up.
Post-mortem.
Post-mortem. I hadn't thought about what to call this, and I'm like, oh my god.
An Inepticon,
Inepticon recap.
An recap. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
looking.
the word I was
Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this Inepticon recap about Hannah's experience through Persona 5.
Yeah, and also about all the other Personas as well, it turned out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
If you guys like what you have been listening to, make sure to give us a follow wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, everywhere in between. If you guys don't have access to all of those services, we have all of our episodes available on YouTube in audio format as well. That is on youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions, youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions. If you guys want to follow the podcast on social media, we are on Twitter. We are on Facebook at Gen Geek Podcast, and we are on Instagram at General Geekery. If you guys want to hang out with us more directly, we have a Discord channel.
Woo!
We have a Discord server.
Mostly for depositing those dank memes directly into your brains.
All them dank memes.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can click the link in the description of this episode in order to join our Discord server, the General Geekery Guild.
Yep.
Come hang out with us, chat with us, offer any opinions about previous episodes, or just want to just geek out about anything, just want to talk, we'll be there.
Yeah. Recently I created a whole new channel so that we could discuss, how exactly, in Star Wars Rebels, Kanan is able to do the things he does despite being blind.
Oh, that's right!
So there was a whole thread about that,
We went on that for like a day.
We did, yeah. We kept on going back and forth. I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought of that. Okay, and...
It's just like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, because I had been, we had just finished watching Clone Wars, so I was like, I'm gonna binge the Rebels now.
Hey.
Oh, man.
And if you guys want to support the show in any way, shape, or form, we appreciate thy coin. You may pledge to our Patreon at patreon.com/General Geekery. That is where we post all extra content, including episodes days early in advance before they go live on Sundays now, because we post the episodes on Sundays now.
Yep.
And a bunch of different...
For better synchronization with live episodes, which we usually do on Fridays.
Yep, usually. And then we also offer other stuff. Hannah recently just put up some of my Patreon exclusive artwork for people to
Did I? Oh, yeah.
download.
Yep, so yeah, you can get that. It's like it's postcard sized art, and if you like what you see, hit me up.
Indeed. Hire her. And also, we also offer a bunch of different free blog posts for those of us that wish to know our thoughts about certain things. I recently did one on there relating to our movie theater discussion last episode about some of my favorite cinema experiences. So go check that out and read it. Hannah, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central on twitch.tv/loadeddiceadventures. It's a homebrew RPG campaign that is ongoing. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue, out to kill me some zombies.
Yeah.
The best kind of zombie is a dead zombie, a truly dead zombie,
Indeed.
a doubly dead zombie. Anyway,
I am sinking into my coffee cup.
Anyway, you can also, if you want to, follow me on Instagram at Python Legume. I'm not on there very often because I routinely delete the app from my phone because when I wake up in the morning, I take a look at it, and then an hour later, I get out of bed and I'm late for stuff.
Oh.
So I'm on there occasionally. And is there somewhere else? I feel like I say 3 things.
Let's see. SPLANCHNIC.
Oh, that's right. I do a podcast with my mom also called SPLANCHNIC, where we discuss just sort of literature, movies, art, and creativity, and just any sort of nerd thing from the perspective of 2 generations.
Awesome. And you guys can check me out on twitch.tv/RyuzakiMK7 as well. I stream a bunch of different games. A lot of them are RPG based, but I always love hanging out with my chat room and having fun. And I always do a lot of on-stream voice acting for all the RPGs that doesn't have voiceover. It's always a lot of fun. I did one last night at time of recording of this. Oh my god, it was chaos. It was so much chaos, but it was a lot of fun. So go check that out at twitch.tv/RyuzakiMK7. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at RyuzakiMK7 as well, posting up all of them coffee photos and basically wholesome messages. I try to be as wholesome as I can lately. It's helped. And that's pretty much going to be it. Thank you guys for listening. This has been episode 84 of the General Geekery podcast. And
Is it 84?
It is 84. I had to double check to be sure.
What was 83?
83 was the cinema.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I had to double check just to be
I got
sure.
confused because I didn't actually have any notes on that. I just sat down in my chair.
No, you're fine. This has been episode 84, all about the Inepticon recap for Persona 5 and just Persona in general.
Woo!
For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski. Until next time, guys, always remember to keep your geek on.
Always. It was faster than I expected.
Clink, clink.
You always say something else first.
I was trying to think of something, but
No, never mind.
I am thou, thou art I. Boo!
Actually, that's a good one.
I'm actually planning on getting that tattooed.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
like on your arm?
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
recording's still going.
Yeah.
Cut it, Donald! Cut it!